afternoon, Claude.
Afternoon.
Yeah, welcome to Smart SMB stand. Hope you're having a great JITEX.
Thank you. It's my first JITEX. Busy. So, yeah, very, very good. My name is Claude Schuck. I'm the regional manager for Veeam in Middle East and Central Africa. Recently moved here from South Africa. So, a very new experience for me and an enjoyable experience. Veeam was born, we've been around for the last sort of 12 years, and we started off generally as a virtualization company in the mid-market space. If you have a look at our basket of goods over the last year, specifically last 12 to 18 months, we've really evolved into the enterprise space, whereby we have a lot more products that address the enterprise. Some of them are of physical nature, so we're the leaders in the virtualization space. Lots of our customers had asked us about, protecting their physical environments. So now we protect Windows, Linux, Solaris and AIX environments, as well as endpoints, Office 365. So you see that the basket of goods and the basket that we address at customers is getting bigger and bigger, and hence why we are going into a lot more customers, and we're using the mid-market to springboard into the enterprise as well. So backup is one thing. So Veeam, we speak about the 5 stages of data management. Backup being the first one, which we've been doing for a long, long time. The second one is aggregation. Now aggregation's it's an interesting one, and specifically this year JITEX, with the advent of the big players. When I say the big players in terms of cloud, you have the Azures and the AWSs who are bringing their solutions into the Middle East. So for many years, the Middle East has been talking about cloud and leveraging that cloud. Now it's here, and aggregation means where you're going to put that workload, to aggregate that workload so you can use it. The next step about your data management is really about visibility. Visibility of your data, where those workloads reside and how you manage them. So Veeam's very, very focused on that. The next one we look at is orchestration. So being able to orchestrate your data, your DR scenarios, if in event of failure, so that needs to be automated, it needs to be tested. Starting to get data self-learning, where it should sit, where it should be backed up and where it should be managed. That's really the 5 steps that Veeam's focusing on. The last one is the automation piece, and we're not there yet, that's what we're working towards. The first 4 stages are in place, and we have a vision for the 5th one, which is automation, whereby the data will start to self-learn where it needs to reside, how it needs to be protected, and when it will be accessed. We'll start to put in place things that start to learn how the data is behaving. With the advent of ransomware in the industry, that's an important step to understand what is the data doing, how is it behaving, who's accessing it, and making sure that we can move that data before anything happens to it. If we look at data, and data is your IP, data is your business, so it's not complicated. So Veeam's very uncomplicated in terms of how we address data, how we restore data, how we back up data. So although the 5 steps may seem long, it's very, very, very simplistic, very, very, very short. And it's not complicated at all, whether it's SMB or whether it's enterprise. If you look at the Middle East, we've got in excess of 4,500 customers. If we look at Veeam as a business worldwide, we're growing 4,000 customers every month. So we are a growing organization. If we look at the Middle East, we grew 63% year on year last year to this year. So a lot of traction across the enterprise, across the mid-market as well. We're just a software company, but definitely on-premise. That's where we started. We can move your workloads to any cloud infrastructure. So generally customers have a backup on-site, and then we normally say, move one off-site. In the older days, people used to put that onto tape and move that off-site. These days, we're advocating moving the data to the cloud, and that workload can reside in any cloud. We support every single cloud across any platform, and that's important for customers. Why? Because you want to be able to access the data quickly. In the old days, if you had a failure, you'd have to call for a tape which is off-site. That is lengthy. It takes a long time to recover, or a long time to analyze data. Data from last year and 2 years ago might be valuable to a new campaign that business wants to invest in. Being able to access that data very, very quickly from a cloud perspective is, that's what agility is, what business is about. Digital transformation is the age of business. I always talk about the new age businesses. We all know the new age businesses of Uber and Airbnb. If you think of them entering in a market, if they sit around a boardroom table and they choose a country to go into, it's very, very quick for them. They just enable the application and they are in business. So they can move into new markets very, very quickly. The flip side of that, if they look at their business and it's not producing the profits they need, all they do is switch off the application and move on and invest in a territory where it makes them money. All businesses are looking to evolve into that type of business. That's the age of digital transformation. So a big thing in the Middle East, I've come from the African continent where the cloud business is growing extensively. The trust factor is there because they had data centers in-house or in-country. I think we'll see a big explosion of cloud in the region. Why? Exactly that, the trust factor. For me, a simplistic view is if I can't if you are hosting my data, and if I can't put disks in my car and drive to your data center and say, give me my data, I won't feel comfortable. With the advent of data and of cloud providers coming in country, that level of security is there and that trust is then built.